Okay, I've been playing around with this software to make QR codes out of Lego tiles. I outlined a few issues yesterday with the placement of some of the tiles, and things just weren't going great. Especially like up here, I had two 1x6 black tiles on the left and the right at the top. And that just made it so that there was only room enough for a 1x4 and a 1x1 at the top of this, as well as a 1x. I'm not sure for 1x4. I think it was a 1x6 plus a 1x1 at the bottom. And I was like, why doesn't it just move that down so you can get the pattern that you see now? That was among many different issues. And I realized the problem is I was looking at how to place the vertical tile on the plate in all cells first. And then I would go through and look and see where I could place the horizontal tile at all cells. But by that time, it would no longer fit here because the vertical tile already fit on the right-hand side of there. So the simple answer was to just look and see, does a vertical tile fit? Okay. If not, does a horizontal tile fit? Okay, it does. Let's put that there. Now let's go to the next cell and the next cell and the next cell. Yeah, so that's been fixed. I changed the order of some of the tiles so I look at the order based on how many studs a tile uses up, so the area. So anything with 8 studs total is fit in here first before anything with like 6 studs. So like 1x8, like this 1x8 here. Is that an 8? No, that's a 6. Well, here's a 1x8 there, 1x8 there, 1x8 there. And then there are some 1x4s still, so that's still 8 studs, but there's not as many because the 1x8s take precedence. I promoted them before I did the 1x4. So you can see a 1x4 could have fit right here, but because the 1x8 got in there first, the 1x4 is no longer there. The other thing I did was I figured out how to add corner pieces, and I pretty much tore my hair out over that. It was a very difficult job to do because now I'm playing with matrices instead of like just the height and the width, because there are some cells that are not present and some cells that the tile is made up for. So that that upper left corner of the corner is missing. So it introduced a lot of headache, and then I had to rotate it in all 4 directions, because so now you see it rotating 180 degrees up here versus down here. Whereas everything else, I was only rotating it 90 degrees and moving on. So the part count went down by about 10%. So that helped a little bit, but it wasn't significant enough to knock at the price. And I think part of that is because, you're using a combination of larger pieces, and the corner pieces, I think, are a little bit harder to get to. So yeah, down to 336 parts right now. I think this is pretty much as far as I'm going to bring this. I had a few other things I was thinking about, like checking off what parts you want it to be in here or not in here. I think this is pretty much just good enough as is. Samicon, there's been a little bit of an update today. One of our members reached out to me, and she said she'd like to come along with somebody else, and they both have some exhibits they'd like to display. And I was like, yeah, come on down. So that's a great, the more the merrier is pretty much what I say. we're a small group, but I mean, if I can get more people to participate, and just have fun, that'd be great. And I'd like to try and figure out how to get more people to come to the meetings as well. Monkey Pong. A couple orders came in today. I am now up to 95.5% complete of gathering all parts. So there's I think all that's left is I'm waiting for a motor and a lot of 2x6 bricks. A lot. Cleaned up this whole shelf up here. I think a lot of these boxes are going to just go downstairs. There's a couple that I want to put together, but anything that I'm not actually working with needs to be out of this room, and just go into storage. Meanwhile, I was going through this and I came across a cardboard box, and I thought it was the dimensions, and I'm like, well, no, the dimensions is in that box, which had moved down there. Guess what I found? I found the fire brigade module that I've been looking for forever, and it's been up here the whole time. So yeah, got a Lego order in today. Got a little keychain up there, hot dog man. So I wouldn't have gotten him, but I was like so close to there's a threshold you need to meet to get free shipping. I was like, well, this guy is pretty much the equivalent of how much it would cost me if I didn't buy him. So it's like I had to weigh my options. Like, okay, yeah, I'll take a free hot dog man. Labeling. I found one of my labelers. I have like a brother P-Touch that does barcodes. I cannot find him. That's like the story of my life. I can't find stuff when I need it. I need to stop looking for stuff just so I'll find it. But since I have all of the tackle, fishing box, whatever you want to call them now, I decided, okay, let's just rip off all the old barcodes, because they were sequential, which does not help me at all. And then the TAK, I have since forgotten what that actually stands for. The serial numbers or sequential numbers only help really so that these go back in the correct place. But it's a vague, just trying to figure out where the general idea is. Usually it's like I can see a hole there, I'll put it there. Otherwise I'm dividing by 4. So I've set this up by columns and rows. So the columns are letters A, B, C, D, and we got rows 1 through 9. And the top area here is called Lit 1, Lit 2, Lit 3, just because they are literature organizers. So that's, it took a long time, but it's needed because not these, but these at the bottom were starting to like become suspect of getting out of order when I had a few on the side, and I had to remember where a few things are. I'm also debating on, I was starting to do some measurements, trying to figure out if I could bring up some shelving up here to at least get these 3 maybe lined up on the side at an appropriate height, because the one at the bottom is very difficult to get to. And I think the shoebox would be much easier at the lower levels. Maybe at the higher levels as well. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, I'm measuring things, and I'm thinking about something with this desk, moving it to that window and removing the dump table maybe, and just opening up this room to have more space, because I am cramped in here. But yeah, that's today's update.